Good afternoon, everyone. Sorry if I start sniffling, it's freezing out here. But it's Brad at Yamaha Marine Center on Wells Road in Orange Park, right off of 295. Alright, pull myself together, get over this. Today, it's actually a leftover 2020 Regulator 25. It is the oldest boat in our fleet right now. We got it pretty late in the season, but better late than never, huh? To come out and do a quick walk around. I do love the Regulator franchise. That nice Carolina flare, as you can see walking down the hull side. And these are not probably, in my experience, as limited as it may be, one of the best made production boats out there. And not that it's a high production boat relative to all the other manufacturers out there, but they do make over 200 boats a year. They just built a new facility, so they're going to ramp that up a little bit, especially with their new XO series, which is next door here. Check out that on our channel as well. We got some walk-arounds on that and some sea trials. But this is their true offshore series. You might call it a center console. They just call it offshore. Nice through stem windlass, which we did add to the boat. And then, of course, that deep V going on there. And we'll hopefully explain some of the advantages of all this, but that nice deep V gives you a nice smooth ride through the big heavy seas, and the boat is big and heavy. It's called a 25, but they only let us measure to the transom, which is an enclosed transom. We'll go through when we get up there and kind of show you what I mean by that. And then the boat overall to the back of the engine is actually 30 feet. Beam is 8 feet 10, and it maintains that all the way from about the shoulder of the boat right here all the way back. Here's some of the specs we added with some pricing on it. VIN number, all that stuff. I don't know if you can see that. But MSRP is $240,460. And check with your local dealer, though. We sell well below that number. We don't get the same margins in this product as we do some other stuff, but they spend a lot of money on their builds, so I understand, you know, quality, price, all that good stuff. Good, fast, and cheap. Pick two. But pretty aggressive lifting strakes, help the big heavy boat get up on plane. Coupled with that deep V, need some help getting on top of the water, which they're not rocket ships, but like I said, for ride quality, you really can't beat this boat. Big aggressive reverse chine, really deflects the water down and pushes it through. And then that huge Carolina flare in the front, if you do blow through all your chines and all that stuff, it pushes the water off pretty good. The structure in this boat they refer to as a grillage system, and the main structure probably comes, I mean, if you're a hull pounder, you can appreciate this, nice and solid. You can hear it kind of loosen up there, but inside I'll show you where all the supports come up and through. There's the Armstrong bracket, big trim tabs, integrated swim ladder, which is really nice. Pops out of there. I think it's a 4-step, maybe 3-step on this one. Big scuppers, so it is a self-bailing cockpit. Lenco electric trim tabs, don't have to worry about those hydraulics. The bracket, there's some good information on Regulator's website, but that is a functional piece. As the boat is floating, it actually provides buoyancy, and they put enough volume in this per model for the weight, because this boat dry is 8,300 pounds with engines, so 25-foot boat, really 30-foot boat all the way back to the back of the engines is heavy. As you're gaining speed, this works like a giant trim tab, and then once it's up and running, I don't know if you can see the running surface down here, but actually the whole Armstrong comes out of the water, and it gives you a lot cleaner bite. So then your water comes from here, raises up to the anti-cavitation plates, and you get a cleaner bite of water. So once you're up and running, the hull is actually really efficient. You know, you'd expect out of a heavy boat like this not to get great fuel efficiency, but I'm pretty sure this 25 with twin 250s is over 2 miles per gallon at cruise. They do have some performance bulletins on their website, so check it out and call me a liar if you need to, but it's pretty cool how well the boat runs. Coming in, we have a nice transom access door, dive door, tuna door, fish door, whatever. You can walk around the Armstrong even when the boat's out in the water. Nice swim platform for diving, spear fishing, that kind of stuff. Gives you a nice stable platform to operate from. And then this closes, that aft door closes, and you have that enclosed transom. So fishing, you have a nice combing pad, a bolster to lean against, and then a flip down seat for running. That's the nicest seat in the house when you're out there and it's really choppy or something, you know, hitting a bunch of waves, whatever. This on this model is one giant live well, and then your bilge access down here. This is another thing I like about Regulators, the fit and finish on these boats. You know, all their hatches are resin transfer molded, so you can see they're finished on both sides, and some manufacturers don't even take the time to really finish this lip here. If you look at some other less expensive manufacturers, you'll see, you know, the resin color still in here because they don't take the time to paint this. They make them nice and thick. Like I said, resin transfer molded, so there's just enough resin to fiberglass ratio to make these bigger hatches nice and strong, so when you're standing on them, they're not flexing and bending and making all kinds of noises. Nice, clean bilge. All those pumps are mounted up underneath the ledge, so when water drips down, if it blows past the gasketed hatch here, it doesn't drip on the pumps. There's your transducer in the pocket, so you can get good readings at high speeds. Everything on the boat is ABYC compliant. Great standard to build to. Bilge pump with float switch, all your raw water, freshwater pumps, fuel water separators. Good looking bilge. C-Star Optimus system too, so there's your pumps, controller. One pump per engine, so the engines can operate independent of one another. So adding Optimus 360 with I don't even know what they call their anchoring function anymore. It's pretty easy. We can just add a joystick. We're doing it on a Regulator 28 right now, and it's turning out beautiful. Adds autopilot and the anchoring function. C-Station. Optimus 360 with C-Station. Standard leaning post, comes with this little tackle center. Plenty of room under there for a cooler. Does not come with a cooler. This is actually a really comfortable seat as far as how it's bolstered around here and kind of keeps you tucked in. Not a lot to it, you know, fold down step, powder coated. Nice, a little bit more storage down here. See your batteries tucked up in there in the head compartment. Lockable head compartment. Fixed toilet with pump out. I don't believe, yeah, it's macerated. There's a key right there. Access to your batteries, all your rigging, your DC panel, house battery, 3 batteries, 1 for the house, 1 per engine, and there's your Optimus computer right there, so you can adjust the sensitivity of your steering, friction, that kind of stuff. More access to your electronics there, so you can get to the back of your Garmin's. Standard electronics on the boats. I think this one is standard twin 12s, and then we can upgrade from there to like the fish package or something. I know they changed it for 2021. This is still the digital electronic binnacle. It's not the newest Homemaster EX stuff they're putting on the 2021s, but you can save some money on this. Again, the Optimus steering, so all fly-by-wire back to the pumps, Lenco trim tabs, Yamaha key switches, Polk audio, good 6YC gauge, full function Garmin VHF 215 windlass, Boca switches, nice and waterproof backlit, which is really cool. And then for 2020, I think was the first year they did this glass helm enclosure with the vent. It's really nice. Additional weather protection, more comfortable ride. 86 12s, XSVs. Nice big hardtop too. The coverage on this thing is phenomenal. It's a surfboard edge, so it's finished, nice and rounded. Takes one guy quite a while to make one of these things, and then you can see how well they integrated the aluminum supports into the top now, so they no longer run all the way down to the floor for a kick hazard. Because just like I was telling you earlier, this boat has so much structure underneath it that you can see that is actually the stringer coming up the side of the whole side of the boat to give you additional support. And then everybody, well, not everybody, a lot of people complain, you know, if you're looking at some competitive models that have a lot of fishability, like in-floor fish boxes, multiple live wells, things like that, I can understand your frustration with this boat. But this company's not going to do anything to sacrifice build or ride quality. So there's so much structure under the boat. If they were to make fish boxes, I don't know if you can see that bright line right there, but it's only about, 2.5 feet by, 2 feet wide. I mean, that's like the biggest area they have to put a fish box in there. And even right here, you couldn't make them deep enough to really give them any kind of volume. So, they opt to put them in the transom there. and then up front in the coffin box. But you got freshwater bib on that side, raw water on this side, separate pumps. And then coming up to the forward seating area, we have backrests that plug in there, cushions, of course, turn it into a nice, day boat almost. And then having this multiple piece design gives us room under the deck cap for storage and accessories and components. And then these boxes are also insulated, drain overboard. So if you are doing some kind of bottom fishing, you don't have like a bloody species, you're not catching tuna or wahoo, stuff like that. If you're just catching some sea bass, grouper, you can throw them in there. And then this is a macerated box down here, which is huge. It also serves as rod storage, so you can store 6 rods in there. It's lockable, and then again, it's macerated with a diaphragm pump. So if it goes down that drain, it's going to spit it out. You don't have to worry about it getting hooks or weights or anything like that caught up in there. And then this front box is storage. I don't know if this one's insulated or not. I think it might be, but everything drains overboard, which is really nice. And then coming up to the anchor locker, so you can control your windlass from up front too, or at the helm. Boats come with all chain rode, so your lay is extremely flat on this, drops straight to the bottom, and hookup is almost instant. And then you see a nice deck, wide, all the way back through the boat. So if you had to use this for cast netting, stuff like that, it's very usable. Pop-up cleats everywhere, hawse pipes for your dock lines, so they keep everything to a minimum on the side of the boat so you don't get fishing line caught everywhere. There's another good shot of that hard top. Plenty of room for accessories, radars, all that good stuff. And then the forward seat, this also has armrests on it, and it's a cooler underneath. But really well laid out boat. It's good for cruising because it's such a nice running boat. Still good for fishing. Maybe not as hardcore fishable as some of the other brands in our competition, but I think it does just as good of a job, and it gets you out there drier, more comfortable. But if you have any other questions about this boat, anything else on the lot, feel free to call Brad or Barton, 904-644-7631. Come visit us off of 295 in Wells Road, or get us on our website all the time, Yamaha Marine, JAX.com. Thank you.